Okay, so have you ever seen one of those sci-fi movies, where the robots are like super intelligent and taking over?
Yeah, those are classics.
Well, guess what? We're diving into something that feels straight out of those movies, but it's already happening. AI and machine learning.
And we're not just talking theory here. This stuff is changing the game, like, right now.
Exactly. But it can be a little confusing, all this AI and ML talk. So just to make sure everyone's on the same page.
So,
Anyone need a quick breakdown of what those even are?
good point. It can get pretty jargony.
Yeah.
Well, think of AI as the big umbrella. Basically, machines doing things that we'd consider intelligent, like us humans, learning, problem solving, making decisions.
Right, right. Okay, so then what's machine learning? How's that different?
So ML is like a subset of AI. It's where computers use algorithms to learn from data and get better over time. And the key here is they don't need someone to program every little detail.
So they're like teaching themselves.
Kind of. They're finding patterns in the data, making predictions, all without step-by-step instructions.
Oh, okay. So for all of us listening, ML is all about recognizing patterns and making predictions based on tons of data.
Exactly. And that's what's driving a lot of the mind-blowing applications we're seeing today.
Okay, so let's ditch the tech talk and see this in action. Our sources are packed with examples of AI and ML changing the world. We'll start with healthcare.
Yeah, the healthcare stuff is really something. One source talks about this AI that analyzes medical images, like X-rays and MRIs. And get this, it can spot tiny signs of cancer or heart disease, even earlier than human doctors sometimes.
Really? That's amazing. But does that mean doctors are like out of a job?
No, no, not at all. It's not about replacing doctors. It's more like giving them a superpower. Imagine an AI that catches things even the most experienced doctor might miss.
So like a second opinion you can always trust.
Exactly, and one that never gets tired.
That's incredible. Okay, so it's not just about reading scans, right? AI can actually help with like performing surgery.
Oh, yeah. Another course talks about AI-assisted surgery. So you have these robots helping surgeons do really complex procedures. More precisely, more control.
So patients recover faster.
Exactly. Better outcomes all around.
Wow, so we've got AI reading scans and even helping in the operating room. It's amazing how far this tech has come.
It really is. And it's not just hospitals. Our homes are getting a serious upgrade too.
Oh, you mean like smart homes?
Yeah. But we're talking next-level smart. These sources mention smart thermostats, lighting, even fridges that use machine learning.
Wait, so my fridge will know when I'm low on milk.
Uh-huh. Maybe someday. But for now, they're learning your habits, your preferences. They can adjust the temperature, turn off lights, all to save energy and make your life easier.
So it's like my house is thinking for me.
In a way, yeah. It's adapting to you, learning from your routines, and all this is happening like in the background. You don't have to program anything.
Huh. Okay. So homes are getting smarter. What about our cars? Self-driving cars have felt like almost here forever. Any progress there?
Big progress. And guess what's behind it?
Machine learning?
You got it. They use sensors to collect information about their surroundings, and then ML algorithms process that data. Real-time decision-making, steering, speed, avoiding obstacles, all that.
So they're basically thinking like a human driver.
Exactly. But without getting distracted or tired, the goal is a safer and more efficient way to travel. And self-driving cars are a huge part of that.
Okay, so we got healthcare, smart homes, self-driving cars. What else? Where else is AI making waves?
Well, let's talk business. Companies are using AI for everything, predicting what's going to be hot in the market, creating personal experiences for customers.
Oh, is that how online stores recommend stuff you actually like? Sometimes it's kind of creepy how well they know me.
Yep, that's AI at work. They're picking up on patterns we might not even see ourselves.
Huh. So businesses get a leg up in a world where data is king. Okay, but what about the actual making things part of business? What about manufacturing?
This is where it gets interesting. Forget robots just replacing workers on an assembly line. It's way more sophisticated than that.
Really? How so?
AI can analyze all that production data, find bottlenecks, even predict when equipment's going to break down.
So it's like giving the whole factory a checkup, making sure things run smoothly.
Exactly. And that saves companies a ton of money. And it's not just efficiency, it's safety too. AI can identify hazards, take over dangerous tasks, making things safer for human workers.
So smarter, safer factories, that's great. It's incredible how many areas AI is touching.
It is, and get this, it's even changing the way we learn.
Wait, what? How's AI impacting education?
Imagine a learning platform that adapts to each student, their needs, their style. That's what AI can do. It analyzes their data, personalizes their learning path, gives them feedback, even figures out who needs extra help.
So, like a personal tutor for every kid, that's amazing. But how does that actually work?
Well, the algorithms track their progress, figure out their strengths and weaknesses, and adjust the material accordingly. It's about making learning more engaging, more effective, and helping every student reach their full potential.
Wow, that's a game changer. But before we go too far down the AI's amazing road, our sources also bring up some serious stuff, things we need to consider.
You're absolutely right. We got to look at both sides, the potential risks and challenges that come with all this amazing tech.
Yeah, we can't just ignore those. We need to be using AI responsibly and ethically.
Exactly. And that's where things get really interesting. Because the future of AI isn't just about the tech itself, it's about the choices we make. Choices that'll shape how AI impacts our world.
Okay, so we've seen how AI is revolutionizing healthcare, homes, transportation, business, even how we learn. But it sounds like there's a whole other side to this story, the ethical side and the potential downsides of all this.
Right. And that's exactly what we'll explore in the next part of our deep dive. It really makes you think, doesn't it? How AI is already everywhere.
Seriously, it's like every day there's something new about AI in the news.
And the sources we're looking at, they say we're just scratching the surface.
Wow. So, like, where else could AI make a big impact?
Well, one area that comes to mind is scientific research. Scientists are already using AI and ML, to crunch huge amounts of data. Genomics, drug discovery, material science, stuff like that.
So, instead of spending years in the lab, AI could help find breakthroughs faster.
Exactly. One source had this crazy example. Imagine an AI that can go through millions of drug compounds and pick out the ones that could work for, say, cancer or Alzheimer's.
Wow, that would be incredible. Talk about a game changer. And what about climate change? Seems like all we hear is bad news about the planet. Could AI help there too?
Our sources seem to think so. It's already being used to analyze climate models, predict those extreme weather events, even make buildings and cities use less energy.
So AI could help us fight climate change. Finally, some good news.
Right. It's not a magic solution, but it could be a really powerful tool. Speaking of tools, you ready for something that sounds like it's straight out of sci-fi?
Hit me with it.
Human augmentation.
Okay, now that's getting futuristic. What is that exactly, and how does AI fit in?
Well, think of it as using technology to, like, boost our abilities, physical and mental.
Okay, so like, what? Give me some examples.
Prosthetic limbs that you can control with your brain, exoskeletons to give you super strength, even brain-computer interfaces, so you can control computers just by thinking.
Whoa, hold on. That's like some serious sci-fi stuff. Is that even possible?
A lot of it's already being developed, and AI is a big part of making it all work. One source talked about AI that can translate brain signals into commands for prosthetic limbs, so amputees could have way more control.
That's incredible. It's like AI is making science fiction into reality.
Yeah, it really is. And who knows what else is coming as AI gets even more advanced. But as amazing as all this is, we got to be realistic. There are risks, challenges.
Right. We talked a bit about the ethical side of things, but these sources seem to dive deeper into the potential downsides.
Yeah. One thing that keeps coming up is, what if AI gets used for bad stuff, like creating weapon systems that make their own decisions without humans involved?
That's terrifying, like some kind of robot apocalypse.
Right. And then there's the whole idea of AI becoming so smart that, it surpasses human control.
The classic AI takes over the world scenario.
Exactly. Might sound like a movie, but a lot of experts think we need to take it seriously.
So how do we prevent that? How do we make sure AI is used for good?
That's the big question, isn't it? And there aren't any easy answers. Some people say we need strict regulations, while others think open collaboration and ethical guidelines are better.
It's definitely complicated, but it's a conversation we have to have if we want to make sure AI benefits everyone.
Absolutely. And that's a great transition to the last part of our deep dive. We'll zoom out and look at the bigger picture, how AI is impacting society, and what we can all do to ensure a positive future.
So we've talked about some pretty amazing stuff. AI diagnosing diseases, self-driving cars, even human augmentation. It really seems like this technology could change, well, everything.
Yeah, it feels like we're at the beginning of something huge. But like we've been saying, it's not all going to be easy. These sources, they really make you think about the implications of all this.
It's like we're at this point where the choices we make now, they'll determine what kind of future we have with AI.
One source made this point that really stuck with me. It's not enough to just, watch this happen. We can't just let the tech companies and governments decide how AI gets developed and used. It's going to affect all of us.
So it's not just about, like, knowing about AI, it's about actively doing something.
Exactly. We all have a part to play in shaping this future.
Okay, sure. But how do we actually do that? It seems like such a massive thing. Can one person really make a difference?
Well, first things first, we need to understand it. The benefits, the risks, all of it. The more we know, the better we can talk about it and make informed decisions.
Right. Knowledge is power. But what else? What can we actually do?
Start by talking about it with your friends, family, whoever. Share articles, talk about the ethical stuff. The more people who are aware, the better.
That makes sense. And the more people who are talking about it, the more pressure there is on, the people in charge to make sure AI gets used the right way.
Exactly. And you can support organizations that are fighting for ethical AI, groups that want transparency, accountability, making sure it's fair for everyone.
It's good to know people are out there, like, actively trying to make sure AI is a force for good. Because let's face it, there's a potential for bad stuff too, right?
Oh, yeah. We can't ignore that. And one of the biggest concerns is bias. If the data that's used to train AI is biased, well, the decisions it makes are going to be biased too.
And that could be bad news, especially for things like hiring, getting loans, even the justice system. We need to make sure AI is used to make things fairer, not to make existing problems worse.
Absolutely. And that's why it's so important to have different perspectives involved in creating AI. People from different backgrounds with different experiences. That's how we make sure it works for everyone.
It's like that saying, if you're not at the table, you're on the menu. We all need a seat at the table when it comes to AI.
I like that. And that's really the key here. The future of AI, it's not set in stone. It's something we're all creating together.
That's kind of exciting, but also kind of scary, It feels like a big responsibility.
It is, but it's also an incredible opportunity. We have this chance to use this technology to solve some of our biggest problems: climate change, poverty, disease.
It's like we have this incredibly powerful tool, and it's up to us to figure out how to use it.
Exactly. And that brings us back to that question we talked about earlier, what unimaginable advancements are just around the corner.
Because if we can use AI in a way that's ethical, the possibilities are endless.
Think about it. AI helping us wipe out diseases, fixing climate change, exploring space, a world where everyone has access to education, healthcare, a chance to live their best life.
That's a future worth fighting for. But it's not going to happen on its own. It's going to take work, collaboration, a commitment to using this technology for good.
And that's what I want you to take away from this. AI is changing the world right now, and the choices we make today will decide whether it's for better or worse. So I got to ask you, knowing what you know now about AI, what role are you going to play in making sure it benefits everyone?
That's a great question for all of us to think about. And after this deep dive, I'm definitely feeling inspired to learn more, get involved, and do my part to make sure we're creating the best possible future with AI. Thanks for joining us on this incredible journey.